Bahakel Sports presents the Delano Little Show.
It's that time of year, time to get ready for high school football. We're taking a look at the teams in the Charlotte area, the key matchups, the top dogs, and the underdogs. Who's going to shine this season? Let's break it all down. Hello, I'm Delano Little, and welcome to the Delano Little Show. We're talking high school football. It is preview time, the best football on Friday nights. You know it. Joining me are Bahakel Sports Director Jeff Taylor and the Charlotte Observer's Langston Wertz. Good to have you guys both here.
Ready to go?
You got some knowledge to spread? You ready to go?
A little bit. As much.
All right.
I know he does.
I know he does. He's got a lot of knowledge. You've been around for how many years? I mean,
34.
34. I covered it for 29 years. You've covered...
Here in Charlotte, I'm a rookie pretty much, maybe a year.
But you've covered more than that in high school football. So
back in the day.
Yes, all right. Let's jump right in. We got three tough conferences here in the Charlotte area. We're going to start with the Queen City 3A, 4A. Here's a look at the competing schools. Chambers, Harding, Huff, Hopewell, Mallard Creek, North Meck, West Charlotte, and West Meck. Jeff, when you look at these schools, what stands out?
For me right away, because I've never seen it, is the 3A, 4A. It's just, I've never seen that, so it's really kind of cool to see the school sizes battle one another, and you kind of get that old school, new school type deal too. So it's pretty cool, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Langston, give us a look at the favorites and how all this plays out.
Well, it's always Mallard Creek, it's always Chambers, it's always Huff. They're always nationally ranked. They're going to be nationally ranked again this year. It's going to be one of those three teams battling it out for the championship.
Okay, so if we're going to go all the way to December, what team from this conference do you see going to a state championship?
Huff has the best shot to go in 4A. I think West Charlotte has a real chance to go in 3A. Once the regular season stops and the speed limit slows down, they're playing 3A teams.
Yes.
They got a chance to go.
So good to see West Charlotte back, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Coach Grimes did a great job. Got a loaded team.
I'd agree with Langston. I think you got to go with, you go Huff. And then, what Sam Grinder's done over there at West Meck, I think that is, he's got those guys kind of regrouped and ready to roll. So I kind of like West Meck over there. But Huff, like I said, Huff is always tough to beat.
All right, guys. Well, next up, the Southwestern 4A with a bunch of state championships. This is a tradition of winning, and four kind of young coaches here, right? Here's a look at the competitors: Butler, Charlotte Catholic, East Meck, Garinger, Independence, Providence, and Rocky River. There are a lot of new young coaches, guys. Jeff Taylor, what do you think about all this?
I think that it is young coaches, and when it comes to all of the young coaches battling the new coaches, we'll see what happens. DJ McFadden, all of them, I think it's DJ. What he's done at Independence is awesome, but you're going against Coach Hales at Butler too, so a lot to look forward to there.
All right, Langston.
It's going to come down to Butler and Independence, as it always does. The battle of Matthews and Mint Hill. One of those teams are going to win the championship. They both have great quarterbacks, Delano, which is something when these two schools have great quarterbacks, they win state championships.
All right, so the new young coaches. Jack Taylor has a preview of all this.
The Southwestern Conference, powerhouse programs, rivalries on the rise, fueled by one of the most diverse groups of head coaches in the state.
We're in an unbelievable football conference. It's extremely talented. If you can come out on the top half of this conference, you're probably going to be a decent team to have the ability to make a playoff run.
For young coaches in their first and second years at the helm of historic programs, the pressure is on.
You get congratulations from people, which is awesome, and you always say thank you, but I'm also like, hey, we might want to wait and see if we win some games first, because the two guys before me were so good.
What do I have to revisit? What do I have to reevaluate? I know shade on Coach McFadden, Coach Hales. He's done a phenomenal job, being in the top tier in the conference. The biggest pressure that I put on is myself. What can I do to get this team where it needs to be?
There's a little pressure, but I think it's also part of the fun of sports, right? That's why guys love to play them. That's part of why I love being involved in them. Those high-pressure games are the ones you talk about forever. So.
And for Butler head coach Brian Hales, who has been in the game since some of his colleagues were born, coaching is like clockwork. He is ready to show off some new tricks.
I've been calling the offense at Butler since 2008. So you have certain mental check marks. By this time of year, I should have this. And by this, by the first game, I want to have this part in. By October, I want to have this part in. We're such a veteran crew right now. We picked up right where the season ended last year. So now it's like, okay, how else can we get ourselves into trouble here? And that's what makes it fun for me, is like, oh, all right, we got these young guys out here. I can, I still know a couple things. And
there are multiple head coaches at a crossroads in their program. Darryl McFadden is in his 3rd year at his alma mater. He looks to key in on all of his experience and expertise as both a player and coach to get the Patriots to a title.
So now that I am at the top, yeah, it means a little something to me, you know what I mean? I will not allow this school to kind of get back to the place that it was at.
But at the end of the day, no matter their differences, each coach plays a larger role for their guys.
Be not just on the football field, but in the classroom, in the cafeteria, on buses, whatever. You just want them to be the men that you're desiring them to be and that you're trying to hone them into being in the future.
Jack Taylor, Bahakel Sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Jack. The young coaches, guys, you got to love it, right?
Well, it's going to be one young coach, DJ McFadden from Independence, and one old coach, Brian Hales from Charlotte Catholic. Butler are going to battle out for the conference championship in that conference.
All right.
Yeah, when you think about, what Coach McFadden's done out at Independence, bringing back that big eye kind of culture is awesome. Yeah. And you talk about Coach Hales and what he's done with Butler and just the tradition they have. And, shout out to Coach Ward. I've got to give him a little shout out. My kids went there and played football for him, and I know what he's done at that program to kind of try to shift the culture there. You mentioned Langston a little bit earlier.
Lenny Sanders at East Mac.
Yep, exactly. And so I think it's going to be cool to see how that all pans out. Those younger guys going to get somebody like Coach Hales.
But Independence, Butler, 9 state championships between them. One of those teams is going to win the conference title.
Okay, well, you're Independence. You got to love DJ McFadden because, I covered him back in the day when I'm old, so I covered him a long time ago.
We're old. We're old.
All right, let's talk about. Yeah, we're a little bit old. Let's talk about the South Meck 4A and preview the conference. And here are your teams: Audrey Kell, Philip O'Berry, Myers Park, Olympic, Palisades, and South Meck. Guys, what are you thinking here?
Audrey Kell is going to be the favorite here. They've had the most consistency over the years. Myers Park's going to have a lot of talent. They're on their 5th coach in 5 years, and Chris James. It may take them a little while to get started. But I think this conference has kind of always been the 3rd conference of Mecklenburg County. I think they want to kind of prove some things this year. And I think with the county kind of being more equal than it's been in a long time, they may have a chance to do that.
All right, Jeff?
I agree with what Langston said. I think they've always been maybe the little brother on the block, and absolutely. They just want to make some, they want to make some moves up. And I think when I think about what AK's done and Coach Yackham out there and the program he's got going out there, they're going to be tough. Yeah. And Philip O'Berry, to see those guys make a move and stuff, it's just interesting to see these schools that are trying to reestablish cultures and the way they're going about it. So I can't wait to see what happens there. But for me, Audrey Kell and Coach Yackham, what they've done there, it's pretty tough.
Anybody surprised you and make it to the state championship out of this conference?
I think Palisades could be a surprise in the conference. They're not going to make a state championship run, but I think Audrey Kell has the best shot to make a playoff run.
Jeff?
Agreed. I think, AK, if anybody makes a run, it will be them.
All right.
Without question.
All right. Well, the private schools are ready to make some noise this fall. We've got your preview coming up next. And for the region's best television coverage of high school football, you're looking at it right there. Your #1 team led by Mr. Jeff Taylor there. We'll be right back with the Delano Little Show. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Delano Little Show with Jeff Taylor and Langston Wertz. Charlotte area private schools are a force to be reckoned with, guys. You like these guys, right?
Yeah.
They're stout.
Yeah. This conference is very competitive. Take a look at the teams and you can see why. Cannon School, Charlotte Christian, Charlotte Country Day, Charlotte Latin, Covenant Day, and Providence Day. Bahakel Sports' John Treach has a look now at what makes this conference such a powerhouse.
Really proud. This is what's so great. Look at this.
On the North Carolina private school mountain, Providence Day is the king. And if you take a swing, you better not miss.
Defending the title is harder than actually getting it. So, staying on top of the mountain. And I'm just glad I was able to get that done.
The Charger roster is a college prospect palooza, and their success is no mistake.
Everybody's tight with each other. You see, we got Jaden, Chan, Brody, a whole bunch of people commit these big schools. Me as well. We're talking to the young kids, talking to the middle school. We all just bond based off of that.
Charlotte Christian is the top contender. The D1 runner-ups have firepower and plenty of motivation.
We're always carrying our competitive spirit into the new season, so we're just trying to go each and every week knowing that we want this win bad and we're going to compete to get it.
Making a Cinderella run at the Crown, Cannon, Country Day, and Latin, where the big fellas say mass, kicks, well,
Our O-line, we're turning 8 seniors. I think we're big enough, we're fast enough. I think we can make a lot happen.
Don't sleep on Division II. Hungry, hopeful Covenant Days dreams are historically large.
Of course, our biggest goal is to get back to a state championship. Hopefully win that this year and get that ring.
John Treach, Bahakel Sports.
All right, thank you. Time to make our picks here, guys. Jeff, lead us off. What do you see in this conference?
A lot. And I could see probably the best football team we have in our area in Providence Day, and what Coach Chad Greer's done out there with that team. You've got Jaden Davis at quarterback, Jordan Shippen. I know I'm missing somebody. You know, one's going to Michigan, one's going to North Carolina. That's some talent right there. And then you think about Charlotte Christian and what's going on out there. I had a chance to meet with them one morning and see what they're doing. They just want to get back to being like a team that people expect to be good. They felt they've taken some steps down. So, but at the end of the day, you know, Providence Day and what they've done out there with Chad Greer and that team. That's a stout football team right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Providence Day is going to play Rock Hill Northwestern at Bank of America Stadium, the first high school football game we've ever seen there. That's going to be a great showcase for Providence Day and all this talent they have, and they're going to win that conference. They're going to win state championship.
It's going to be a good crowd to come out for that game.
A little bit, $5 tickets. I think a lot of people are going to be there.
And not to take anything away from the Cannon School and the others. They're great programs. They just got thrown in kind of to the hornet's nest, competing with those other schools. But, you know, I think the cool part with the private schools, it's what they want to do. They want to establish themselves along the lines of the Southwestern 4A and the South Met Conference. They want to be, when people talk about football in our area, don't forget the private schools. I think they're trying to make a statement.
I think Providence Day is on its way to being IMG.
Wow, okay.
Really? Wow, okay.
Okay,
I can see that, yes.
All right. For people that don't know what that means, what does that mean?
That's a powerhouse in Florida, national powerhouse in Florida, and I think they're on their way to being that.
Wow, okay, all right. Now, there's a lot more talent on Friday nights here. Next, the Greater Metro, the Southern Carolinas, and the Central Piedmont Conferences. And Bahakel Sports is the exclusive media partner of the 87th Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas. The best high school football players in the Carolinas are on Bahakel Sports and WCCB December 16th at Spartanburg High School. I'll be back with more of the Delano Little Show. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Delano Little Show. It's our high school football preview. There's a lot of great football in the Greater Metro, Southern Carolina, and Central Piedmont Conferences. Bahakel Sports' Kelly Bardick previews the action on the gridiron this fall.
7 teams make up the Greater Metro 4A. Only one will come out on top. The competitive conference is up for grabs, but don't tell the Blue Devils that. Mooresville is ready to run it back and then some after last year's second-round exit from the playoffs. The Blue Devils look to repeat as conference champs, but they'll have to do it without several key players from last year's team who graduated. One cross-county rival says not so fast. The Wildcats are coming in bigger, faster, and stronger, and looking to build on their chemistry and 7-4 record from last season. The majority of Lake Norman starters are back, which means the roster is loaded with familiar faces. Speaking of,
there's no better feeling than walking down that hill and putting on your helmet with that white K on it.
Welcome back Justin Harden. Son of the legendary former Wonders head coach Bruce Harden returns to his alma mater in the same position. The former K-Town QB was a member of the 1997 state championship team. Now he'll try to lead the Wonders back to glory.
All right, let's go.
Many have tabbed Hickory Ridge as the conference favorite. The Ragin' Bulls are focused and ready to live up to the preseason hype. And don't forget about Cox Mill, West Cabarrus, and South Iredell, all looking to shake things up in the Greater Metro 4A. Kelly Bardick, Bahakel Sports.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Guys, good job there. What do you see in this conference?
Well, I think these conferences kind of get overlooked a little bit because Charlotte's football has been so strong. But you talk about the Southern Carolinas and Union County, talk about the Greater Metro, the Lake Norman, the Mooresville, the Hickory Ridge of the world. Those schools have great conferences, great football. You talked about Lake Norman and Mooresville. That rivalry is going to sell out. And Weddington made a state championship run last year, lost in the semifinals. So these schools are playing really good football.
I look at them sometimes as the forgotten schools, as you mentioned. Yeah. You think about the schools that are here, the Butlers, Independence, the Myers Park, all right here, close to the Queen City. And then you go outside of it and you think, okay, now you've got Marvin Ridge, you've got Weddington. And like Langston said, the Weddington run last year they made in the state playoffs, I think they'll take it to the next level this year. Coach Capone's done a wonderful job out there. And for me personally, guys, Lake Norman and Mooresville, I went out there last year for the first time on a Friday night, and I was blown away. And we talked a little bit earlier in the break and stuff. small towns, or call them what you want, they show out. I mean, I was stunned at the amount of people who were there, the energy, the excitement. It was almost being like a small college atmosphere to watch those two teams go at it. So to see the cities around us, the communities around us show up for high school football on Friday nights is nothing like it.
I gotta be honest with you, their hot dogs even taste better. I mean, they really get it done, man.
Need to lay off them a little bit, but that's okay.
All right, guys, if you really love high school football, then you'll really love Saturday, August 19th. Our high school football preview continues next. Welcome back to our football preview show on the Delano Little Show. Bahakel Sports is privileged to work with NAS, National Amateur Sports.
NAS is headquartered right here in Charlotte, just like Bahakel Sports. Our partnership changed the way high school sports are covered in the Charlotte region.
And here now with more are Bahakel Sports Chief Administrative Officer Steve Poston and Vice President Max Wolf.
It is the goal of Bahakel Sports to become the home of high school sports in our community. And we are well on our way to accomplishing just that goal. However, in order to achieve that goal, we needed a partner. And fortunately for us, we were able to find the perfect partner in the company called National Amateur Sports. The team over at NAS shares our passion for the high school sports stories in our area, the tremendous student athletes that are representing our schools in our community. And we're here to tell their story.
You're right, Steve. I think the partnership with NAS gives us the ability to stream 77 live athletic events in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area for free all across the country. No matter if your mom lives in California or your grandma lives in Alaska, you can watch the games live on BahakelSports.com.
Thanks, Steve and Max. Now, we've got a lot more good high school football heading your way. Starting Saturday, August 19th, the Turf Kings Classic at Memorial Stadium. 3 huge games all day long. Myers Park versus Charlotte Christian, Palisades versus West Charlotte, and Burns versus Huff. And on the same day, check out the Keep Pounding High School Classic featuring Rock Hill Northwestern against Charlotte's Providence Day School. That's August 19th at 7 p.m. at Bank of America Stadium. We talked about the one at Bank of America Stadium already, but I'm telling you, that Memorial Stadium is going to be, and what a great job they've done on Memorial Stadium, the renovations of that place. I was out there the other day. It looks great.
No, it looks great. It's got a great view of downtown, and I can tell you, all the kids are looking forward to playing there. Everybody I've talked to in preseason says, I can't wait to get to Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
Should be a fun day of football.
Cool. I mean, what a great place to watch a football game. I mean, Memorial Stadium with the skyline behind it, you don't get much better. And then, when I think about some of the games that are being played, you get old school versus new school with Palisades and West Charlotte. And then you get the battle of the Chris James coaches. You get Myers Park and Charlotte Christian. So you get a private school and a public school. Yeah. And then, you get North versus South. So three great ball games there. And then the one at B of A. You don't get much better than North Carolina versus South Carolina.
Just one thing, fellas.
Go ahead.
Don't rain, don't storm that night, ruin this Mother Nature. It always storms this day. I hope it doesn't this year.
Okay, let's keep the rain away. North Carolina football has gotten so much better, and it's up there with the top states, right?
Yeah, North Carolina I definitely think is on the uprise. It used to be South Carolina was better. North Carolina's definitely switched. The talent here, the teams here, everything's great. It should be a phenomenal season here.
All right, that is all the time we have. Thanks for watching the Delano Little Show. Jeff Taylor, Langston Wertz, appreciate you guys being on the show and dropping some knowledge. We'll see you on Friday nights, everybody.